listen to it and then you hear it. You really hear it for your own ears. 1,400 years later, you're hearing the information of the beat going.
A pulsar is a highly magnetized, rotating neutron star that emits a beam of electromagnetic radiation. The first pulsar was observed on November 28, 1967, with the help of telescopes. The name pulsar is derived from pulsating star. The definition of pulsate is, produce a regular, reoccurring throbbing sound. The word originates from the Latin word, plare, which means to beat. They chose this name because scientists were able to record sounds of this star using high-end technology of the 20th century. The most astounding fact is that this star was described 1400 years ago in the Quran. In the 86th chapter of the Holy Quran, Allah describes a star named Allah calls this star Tariq, and calls it the star of piercing brightness. Now if we look at the pictures of the pulsar, we can clearly see a piercing light through the star. But there is more. Allah also called the star Tariq, which in Arabic means the beater or striker. Tariq is derived from the Arabic verb taraka, which means to strike or to beat. It also refers to someone who comes in the middle of the night and knocks on the door. You heard how the pulsar sounded in the beginning of the video, which scientists were able to hear using high-end technology of the 21st century. You can clearly hear the sound, which sounds like someone is striking or knocking on something. How could the Quran know this 14 centuries ago when there was no high-end technology? There is no doubt left, the Quran is a book from God, and Muhammad was his messenger.
Wow, that's interesting because whenever you think about it, it really did have that knocking noise, like knocking, 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 knocking. And I don't know if that's what it actually sounds like. Is that what a star actually sounds like?
Well, I think at least this particular star.
Oh, this particular star, the Tariq.
A special star.
Oh, the Tariq star. That's bright. It has this particular knocking noise. Mm-hmm. We'll definitely look into that more, but that is if
this one emits electric radiation.
Oh, that's what that is, Kelly.
So it produces a reoccurring pulsing sound.
Really?
Yeah.
So that one has radiation, so that's why it's knocking, knocking, knocking?
Yes.
Okay, that is absolutely phenomenal. So sometimes whenever I'm watching the video for the first time, you know, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to take notes. The information is going. I'm trying to relay it back to other scientific videos that we've watched. So sometimes you're going to miss one thing or another, but that is absolutely fascinating and incredible to really think about that from that perspective. That particular star in the night sky called Tariq, and, you know, and even the name Tariq means to strike with a beat. And if you heard it, it really was on rhythm. Striking,
almost
striking.
Like a heartbeat.
Yeah, it sounded like a heartbeat, and it says to come in the middle of the night as well, which is, you know, obviously it's a star in the middle of the night, and it's striking and beating. And a lot of these things have double meanings whenever you're going into Arabic and you're really listening to it and relaying back to it. It has that double meaning. So it really is just so interesting to hear it and to really get that information where they're telling you what this is, and then you listen to it, and then you hear it. You really hear it for your own ears. 1,400 years later, you're hearing the information of the beat going.
and the video ends here. Short one, as I said. The most impressive part to me was the name Tariq, that actually refers to beating, and as we heard, yes, that star is pulsing and therefore gives out a beating sound. But what I want to say here, the passage, do they then wait for anything except that the angels should come to them? This of course refers to atheists, disbelievers. I absolutely love this verse, because ultimately, what kind of sign do you need? Look around, everything is a sign of God if you are a believer. But for the atheist, no sign is good enough. If angels would reveal themselves to the atheist would say, maybe this is an alien. If God himself would come down, which is of course impossible because it would break this matrix, he transcends everything within creation, so it's an impossibility. But hey, even if God himself would have revealed himself to an atheist, the atheist would still say, this must be some sort of super intelligence. This cannot be God. Those people have no eyes to see, and therefore this passage is so extremely powerful. To me, yet again, those passages of the Quran are so much more powerful than anything else explained in YouTube videos. Man, every time I read the passages of the Quran, I have to admit, I am marveling at it. So now those facts that are added here, sure this is impressive, sure this is interesting, but I have to say that only reading the Quran by itself is all you need and is impressive enough by itself.
That's a very interesting video. Of course, when we talk about understand the word of God, you got to realize that it has a lot of things that are very hidden on it, but until we study it before we can be able to understand what he's saying, we need wisdom to be able to understand this. If you look at this, you realize that this pulsar star has been in the Quran for many years ago, right? But we are not be able to understand it. Why? Because it's not that because we do not study it, or not because that we have not read it, but the thing is, there's a difference between you reading it and then understanding what God is saying. And that's why I've always says that that's for the Christians. It says that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And how do you hear the word of God? Is when you begin to study it, you realize that this thing has been there for a very long time, not before now that scientists are now discovering it, but this is something that has been in the Quran for a very long time. And that's why I always says that we need wisdom of God to be able to understand what he is saying.
All right, but this is it. As always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.